May the fourth be with you. Wait, what? My wife sent me a text this morning wishing me a happy Star Wars day. And I thought, there is a scientifically documented and powerful force that every one of us encounters and interacts with on a daily basis. This force has a light side and a dark side. It works like a Jedi mind trick, taking control of our thoughts, our words, and even our actions. This is Rob Christensen with Mythic Performance, and we are talking about the Force today. Not some magical mystery, not some magical mystical force, and I'm not talking about God, the universe, or whatever you believe in right now. That's a conversation for another time. There's a force that controls us like some Jedi mind trick. Get this wrong, and we all do at times, but get it wrong consistently, and this force does not serve us. It negatively impacts our thought patterns, our speech, our health, productivity, performance, relationships, and it can lay waste to our success and leave our life in ruins. Get it right, and it simplifies our life. Taking care of business and the business of life, both in our professional and our personal realms. It accelerates our efficiency and our reaction speed, and it puts mundane, repetitive but necessary tasks on autopilot. I'm talking about the force of habit, the power of habit. The most successful and resilient people in the world have habits that support them and their success. They consciously develop habits that support them and support a high level of performance in their lives. When Plutarch said the richest soil, when uncultivated, produces the rankest weeds, he could very well have been talking about habits. Why is this important? It's important because the brain is not in a fixed state. There's this thing called neuroplasticity, which basically means that the connections within the brain and the way they fire changes over time. And how this happens is the first time we do something, whatever it is, we're usually not very good at it. Because everything we do, every thought we have, every action we take, every word we speak is a particular pattern of neurons inside our brain, the billions and billions of neurons inside our brain. They all are connected in different ways. And a particular pattern of those neurons is a particular thought or a particular word or a particular action. And they're all joined together in a myriad of ways. Anyway, so what happens the very first time we have a thought, or the very first time we try a new action, is that these different neurons in our brain fire in a way to try to do that action or to recognize that thought. And then every thought that spins off from that thought is another different pattern of neurons and connections. And those electrical connections between neurons initially are very transient. But the more we repeat them, the more we do those things and use that pattern, the more, I think it's called myelin, is this substance that forms around those pathways between neurons, and it insulates them and basically makes the electrical impulse along that connection more efficient. So the more we do something, more practice doing it, whether we're doing it right or whether we're doing it in a less efficient way, we become better at doing it that way. And myelin, there's no selective way of removing it once it's actually insulated one of those, a set of those connections. What we have to do basically, since we can't destroy an old pattern or connection selectively in our mind, just try not to think of a pink elephant. Now that I've said it, it's in your head. The only way to remove it from your head is to think about something else. And you think about something else, you still know about a pink elephant. It's just that because you're thinking about something else and not thinking about that particular pattern is not being reused, and over time the myelin atrophies, and we'll forget that pattern unless something prompts us to reconnect to it. I'm not a neurologist, but that's kind of the way I understand that it works. If we want to perform at our best, if we want to show up at our best, if we want to bring our A game to our work and our life, we need to be more conscious of which habits we allow to persist in our life, which habits we need to change, and which new habits we want to create and work into our lives. We tend to get more of what we focus on. So instead of trying to focus on stopping a bad habit, it's much better to focus on creating new habits, habits that serve us. So there are 3 things I'd like you to do right now. First, click on the subscribe button below so that you'll know when I've released new training, tips, tricks, and resources. Second, I'm about to put together a new series of change navigation, resilience, achievement acceleration, and workplace performance boosting tips. I would love your thoughts on navigating change and accelerating achievement in your business or workplace, and even in your personal life. So please click on the link in the description of this video, and it'll take you to a form where you can help me out by answering a few questions to give me your advice, because it'll make sure I'm covering the topics most helpful to you specifically, as well as covering topics for navigating change and accelerating achievement in the workplace across a broad base of work and personal environments. Thirdly, take some time to think about the habits that serve you and those that don't, especially in your professional life. But understand that habits don't always distinguish between professional and personal life. And what affects one can also have an impact on the other. So until next time, be fully alive, take strategic action, and make it mythic. This is Rob Christensen with Mythic Performance.